Gene Gallen out here for the Chatham Journal, Chatham Chat List. We're at the Farrington Folk Art Show, and I'm here with Mr. Hamidou, and he's got his work out here. And you're a Chatham County artist.
Yes.
All right, let's start off with how'd you start, or how'd you decide to become a folk artist?
Well, I was a former car mechanic, and when my daughter was born, so I decided to come home
Okay.
to stay. But by that time, I still have a, welding skill.
All right.
So I started making, sculpture, small one, putting in your yard, and it became too much. So my wife decided, okay, you better come out with your own design and sell it.
Oh, okay.
So that's how, everything started.
Before we ask more questions, your first name, is there a specific meaning to it, or does it?
No, it's just a name. It's like a Muhammad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you named for a family member? Because I name my kids after family members.
Yeah. My name is similar to my father's name.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you decided to start some of your own metal works. Which one of these was your first one out here?
My first one was dinosaur.
A dinosaur. How big?
It's about a little bit over 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Now you've got little ones here. Is this your smallest stuff right here?
Yeah, these are small ladybugs.
Okay.
And small cricket.
And why ladybugs and crickets?
Well, because I like nature.
All right.
And I like anything, outside. I like a bug, insect. I love them and I like to protect them.
Gotcha.
So even dragonfly, that was, the things I started making dragonfly because I like a dragonfly. They are, resilient.
Now, you've got the small stuff. How do you decide what you're going to make? Well, ladybugs, I guess, are small to begin with. But then again, I come to this piece of artwork here, and you've got some pretty big-sized birds with a big plant.
Okay, usually when I started, I was making big thing.
Right.
But my second year here, and I figured out you have to make a certain thing, between the range, small, so everybody can enjoy it. People
Right.
who had the money can buy big thing. Like, I have some $20, $30. So even you have a 200, you can have a $30 piece.
So these are all the smaller things. Wait a minute. Is that like a spark plug on the back of that bug?
Yes, it is.
So most of your metals, is that recycled metal or?
It's a recycled metal and mostly from car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is your shed or your shop where you put all this together just full of metal?
I have a lot of junk.
Yeah, I can see your wife laughing over there because all the wives watching this are laughing going, yeah, my husband does the same stuff. And you probably never throw anything away because you say, I can use that.
Yeah, most of it.
Yeah, but it looks like you can use most of that and stuff.
But, every 3 months I go through my metal.
Right.
And if I figure out, okay, I'm not going to use this one, I can just throw it.
Right, and actually most of the stuff out here is fairly colorful. So how do you decide on the color schemes? Like this flower up here, you've got yellows and greens and oranges and everything else to it.
Well, when I started, I did not paint.
Okay.
But, my customer give me a feedback. A lot of people, my customer, they like a colorful sculpture. So, I have some, I didn't paint it, but I, learn how to paint it.
Right.
And so everybody can.
Are you a better welder than a painter?
I do, because everything I have to weld it first before I paint it.
All right. Now, your wife said you do not know what the Little Shop of Horrors are. But I was going to say, as soon as I saw this, I'm like thinking, well, I'm thinking Little Shop of Horrors.
And she showed me the video.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, this isn't as life-size as from the actual plant in that movie. Now, is that all your stuff over there as well?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Everything here and everything from this bird.
Right.
This is a crane, and then go over there to the dragonfly and cocktail.
All right. Now, let me ask you this. You said you use a lot of car parts. What car parts did you use in this?
Okay, the body is a clutch plate, and this is a part of control arm,
Okay.
and then this is a plier. This is a water pump and valve
So,
and shovel and rake.
and a shovel and a rake. So, do you draw this out ahead of time, or how do you? No, you just.
It's come in mind, you know.
It's just a concept. All right. Now, what is this over here? Are you like?
No, this is not mine.
That's not yours. All right, because that person's flying the space somewhere. And you've got the. All right.
Here, you can see it. The line is right here.
Oh, the line is over there. Well, wait a minute. Is this yours?
Yeah.
Tell me the story about this, because this is isn't it like one of those whirly gig? Does that actually?
Yeah, fish whirl gig.
All right. How'd you come up with that idea?
Well, I make a lot of like a shark,
Okay.
whirl gig. You know, it's fish skeleton. I made all kind of a fish whirl gig.
All right. So let me ask you this. You've got a
Bell,
bell.
yeah,
All right.
tripod.
Tripod. Now, did you decide to add the bell, or did you know that you were going to have a bell in there?
No, this did not have a bell, but there was a guy who wanna buy first. So asked me to make a bell, so
Right.
I make a bell, but he didn't buy, but I leave the bell there.
Well, I was going to say, you just recycle all the stuff that you have. Now, you make all this stuff
This is
out of parts. So what is that?
This is a pole digger.
Oh, okay.
You can see it.
Are the mushrooms
Yeah,
yours too?
yeah.
And what do you make the mushrooms out of?
Propane tank.
Oh, okay.
What are they?
Propane tanks.
Propane tank.
And what's your turtle made out of?
The back is a plow,
Okay.
and then the head is a catalytic converter from car.
So you think a little bit differently than a lot of normal people do, don't you? And that's a good thing. I mean,
Good to be abnormal.
right,
Yeah.
right.
These are really
Because I saw that in that Frankenstein movie, Abby Normal. But do you just walk into your shed, look at all those metals, and just conceptualize what you're going to come up with?
If two pieces can come together, you know, I would see what is the third part or fourth part, you know, to complete it.
All right. And what is this portion right up here?
It's a compressor.
Okay. Wow. So this is a whole, and you just started when you were just welding. Did you kind of find that not very interesting? Is that why? I mean, I know why you started doing this,
Welding
but
was a part of my job, but I'm in peace when I'm welding.
gotcha.
It smooth my heart. You know, I become very calm.
It's meditative.
Yeah, when I'm welding.
Yes.
We got side commentary out there. See, she's
I've been there.
she's trying to help out.
Video, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. We'll just blank out your face, so because you might be on on a post office wall. No, that's fine. So the welding is relaxing, but also the creativity. I mean, there's welders that would never be able to put stuff like this together.
Some might not be, but some can.
All right. If somebody wants to, I'm just going to probably ask your wife, but do you have a website, or if somebody couldn't make it out here this weekend, how could they find you?
I have an Instagram.
Instagram, okay.
So people can go to my Instagram. A lot of times they look at a phone and can ask me, do you still have a visa? If I have it, I will tell them. If I don't, you know.
And what's your Instagram account?
Sissoko Art Sculpture.
Okay. Folks, that's where you need to look.
It is on my car.
And you give me a card. I'll make sure I have the card.
Yeah.
And folks, check it out here at the Farrington Art Show. And if not, check out the Instagram account, because this is some very interesting stuff. I mean, you're taking recycling to a whole nother level without having to take this to the recycling center. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.